Welcome to Washington.
Thank you.
What was your reaction when you heard?
Obviously, I was still sleeping, so it was definitely a crazy morning. But hearing that I was coming to Washington, I mean, I couldn't be more pumped. These guys have put in so much work this year, and obviously playing against these guys, never an easy game. And joining a team that's had success and looking to have success over the next couple months, it's definitely an honor to be here and a privilege.
What are you hoping to bring to the team?
Just hoping to fit in. Obviously, trying to bring some speed and energy, and just going to try to do that. And I'm super excited to be here. And I'm just going to try to focus on what I can and try to bring speed, energy, and hopefully a couple goals.
It's helped to know some guys here. I know you know PL a little bit.
Yeah, I know a couple guys already. Lars, I've played with Stromer. With growing up with Team Canada stuff and Chickering as well, so it's good to see some familiar faces and definitely helps the transition.
You've been moving around a lot lately. You're getting used to it, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it's definitely easier now than it was the first time, but I guess you never get used to it. But it's a good group. I mean, just coming here, it's a fun group of guys and had some good laughs this morning already.
Did you expect to get traded, or were you kind of surprised by the move?
I mean, you never really expect it. I knew there was maybe a chance with obviously my situation being a one-year deal, and you never really expect it. But I knew there was a possibility. But knowing that it's here, I couldn't be more happy.
You were traded from Chicago to Nashville, I think, a year ago to the day yesterday. What have you learned from jumping on to new teams mid-season as far as trying to ease that? Figuring out systems and all that.
Yeah, I think the game itself stays the same. You play against the same kind of players, and you definitely gotta try to get the system under your belt as quick as possible. But I think the biggest thing for me is get to know the guys as quick as possible and be comfortable around them, and usually that shows on the ice.
How much does that help that you're hopping right on a bird and going right back out west?
Yeah, I won't have time to get used to the East Coast time, so I guess that's a good thing.
Did you get in really late last night, or?
No, not too bad. 9:30 is just kind of a long flight, but it's good to get to get a game in tomorrow.
Is there an expectation that you play tomorrow?
I would imagine so. I'm excited to play, and obviously that's a building that's tough to come in as a visiting team, and super happy to be on the good side of it now.
Could you describe your game for those who may have seen it before?
I like to think I'm a hardworking guy that's good in the forecheck and can generate speed and create plays. I like to play with energy and a little bit of grit, so I'll try to bring that to the team.
Was that good skating with Dowd at your game this morning? It's just one skate, but
yeah.
Like a powerhouse kind of line.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're super predictable and hard to play against, so happy to be on these guys' line and not to have to play against them anymore.
Spencer, your first impressions of your new player, Anthony Beauvillier?
Just getting to know him. Have seen quite a bit of him in the past, most recently over the last couple of years, but also following his career in New York, where he was there for a long time, and part of those really quality teams that they had for, call it a good 10-year stretch when Barry was there, and even before that. So excited to have him. I think he's going to be a great addition to the group. I think him having a few relationships with a couple of the guys on the team, all the reports, all the things we know about him, I think he'll be a good fit to our style of play, the pace he plays with, some of the attention to detail stuff that we require our guys to play with, and so I think he'll be a real good fit. We'll put him with Dowd and Dewey right out of the gate, which you may look at and say, well, that's, he's fourth line wing, but as everybody knows, Dowd's line doesn't play much like a fourth line. They play a lot more minutes than that, and Dowd and Dewey are really, I think, good players to play with to get him integrated into our group. They talk a ton, not only on the ice, but off the ice, on the bench. And so I think it's a good starting point for Anthony, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Is part of his value kind of his versatility too? Because he's a guy just playing with Sid, but he also can play other parts of the lineup.
And that was one of the interesting things when I was looking up sort of his line combinations. He's actually played with Lars for 40 minutes this year on a couple different lines. And they've had some success together, which was good to see. But he had, I'm going to guess, 40 different line combinations that he's played with this year in Pittsburgh, which is, I don't even know you could make that many lines with as many forwards as we have. But that speaks to exactly what you just touched on. Versatility, can play both wings, can play, and that I think is a really undervalued quality of a player like him, of understanding, okay, I'm playing on this line, here's the things I need to do tonight at a high level. Okay, I'm playing on this line, here's the things I need to bring and really focus on tonight. So that's a real luxury, to be able to move up and down the lineup and bring different attributes that you know are going to be important to that line for that given night.
Last night we talked a little bit about Crow's tying goal and Chick's 3-2 goal. I wanted to ask you about the goal that came after that, Crow's second goal, where you guys go 200 feet in about 2 seconds to that bump from Carly to Crow.
Yeah.
Or from Mikey to Crow. Like, what goes into that, the recognition of Mikey that the puck's coming to him from Carly, and him processing everything and then executing it to the point where, because to me that's a backbreaking goal at that point of the game.
So that's a set play, and when I say set play, those are routes that those guys are running, and they know all the options off that. So it's not just one option, there's multiple options off where those guys are going. So that's part one, is everybody, when I watched that this morning and I cut that clip, I say it's 5 guys completely connected and on the same page with exactly where everybody needs to be. The timing was perfect. Okay, then the next part of it is the skill of and ability of Mikey in that situation, because what happens there when you get pucks on the wall there, and this is why wingers work so hard at this constantly day to day, is when he gets that puck on the wall, the D's either going to do one of two things. He's either going to pressure him or he's going to back off. And those are really the two things that he's evaluating. And for him to evaluate that, is he pressuring me or is he not, and make a split-second decision in 0.5 seconds are hard plays. And for him to recognize that the D stepped on him there and pressured him, so now he's got to make a play through his triangle and through his feet because he knows he's got speed coming through the middle. That's just a really, really elite play by Mikey there. And the timing obviously is perfect and the finish is outstanding. So yeah, there's a bunch of layers to it, but it was a really good situation where we're completely connected as a group, and then 2 guys make real high-end plays. And Johnny, the pass too, is pretty impressive as well, because he threads that through their F1, who he recognized his stick went this way, threads it through on a line, and I agree, it was a big turning point goal in the game.
Thank you.
Is it good timing for, sorry if you've been asked this already, for Anthony to get out on the road with you guys after today's game to get integrated with the group? Yeah,
give him one game at home. I even think today, just being able to get in last night and then have like a full day to just kind of get everything squared away, equipment, that like there's so much that goes into it. He's just trying to figure out what doors to go through, and like I always remember that, even as a coach coming, you're just like, let alone all your responsibilities, you're like, where do I go? Where's the washroom? So it'll be nice for him to get a game at home and then get out on the road with the guys. And like I said before, he's got some prior relationships and he's played in the league, so I'm sure he's familiar with a lot of these guys. And looking forward to him joining the group.
He's the 5th player, or will be the 5th player, to skate with Ovi and Crosby in the same season.
Really?
Short list, yeah. I bet
I need the other forward.
Both could rattle them off. Rico Fata's one.
That's the one that everyone forgot until I reminded them.
Nice, folks.
The
first one? All right, we'll rattle them off.
Well, let's see, Lars.
Yeah, Lars, of course.
Two of them this season.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the other 2.
Chase?
Last year.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Phillips.
Matty Phillips.
Yeah.
That's right.
The other one's a few years back. in between Rico and Matt Ferris. Because there's not Chris Ward. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Chris Ward.
It is.
Last player to wear 72 for the Caps.
Christian Dubé.
Oh, yeah.
2 games last
Nice.
year.
Pierre Dubé. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Ron
And then
Dubé.
before that, Travis Boyd,
Travis
right?
Boyd, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical conversation with Ethan Quinn. You know, obviously someone's got to
Yeah.
come out, right? So
Yeah. Right now he's slated to come out. We'll see. You know, you never know what happens overnight, but he's just working to right now. He's kind of going through a little bit of a funk in his game. He was so good and so impressive when he got here, and so consistent for, I don't know, I'm guessing at this, but I'm going to say approximately 15 games in a row of just solid, doing 4 or 5 things every single game in the limited, 10 or whatever minutes he played that night. And now he's hit a bit of a downturn, and that's going to happen. It's totally understandable for a young player coming into this league, and now it's
Grind
on.
is real.
Oh yeah, and to be consistent, and the hardest thing is as a 10-minute a night guy, it becomes, even because you're not touching the puck a ton. All of a sudden now you sat for 8 minutes. You didn't. So that even becomes exponentially harder when you're looking at minutes and how much are you on the ice, and oh gosh, I got to do something this shift, or I might not see the ice the rest of the game. So just getting back to some foundational things that have slipped a little bit, that don't take any puck luck. They're just work and focus-based things. Like, I'll give you an example, and he's great. Like Frankie, if there's one thing that you learn about Frankie, is he's such a coachable young man, and he evaluates his game, he takes coaching, he wants to get better, and it gives you confidence as a coach that he's going to fix those areas or get back on track. I have no doubt. Played last night on a back check, he's right there. Lucas Raymond jumps by him, gets a scoring chance on Logan when he's on his back. And it was just a split-second situation where he's there, everything's right, and then he gets beat. And so those little things are controllable things. Doesn't take puck luck. You don't have to register a shot. You don't have to make a play with the puck. You don't have to beat anybody. It's just doing a real good job in a one-on-one situation defensively. And so little things like that. Just getting back to that, being really good on the walls. Making sure that when pucks come up to him on the walls,